So I wanted to talk about body modification and spirituality a little bit. So it's something that obviously I'm modified. I have tattoos, I have piercings very visibly. So, um, and it's something that for me is more than just decoration. It's more than just something that's pretty. It's more than just something that I like aesthetically. Don't get me wrong, I do like piercings and tattoos aesthetically as well, but there is a spiritual component for me. So I remember when I first got my first set of piercings, I was 5 years old and I got my ears pierced at the bottom, the first holes. After that, I think I was 12 or 13 when I got my second, third, and fourth holes done. Um, and then at that time, that's when it kind of started um, what you see now. I remember that I really wanted to get my tongue pierced next. So I got that done when I was 18 on my 18th birthday. Then I got a few other piercings. I got a few in the upper ears as well. I have my septum, I have my eyebrow, I have my vertical labret, my bridge, and other piercings as well. But I've been pierced probably 32, 33 times, and I currently have 14 piercings in right now. I did have 16, but I had to retire my third lobe piercings because I started stretching my ears again. So that was I had to lose those piercings because they were being pressed on a little bit too much and it was uncomfortable. So I would love to have more piercings and as well. Some of the ones that I really want to have are dimple piercings in the cheeks. I'd like to get an eyebrow piercing on the other side to match. And then maybe some dermals. I know that dermals are temporary, but I really do like the look of them, and I'd love to have some of those, even for a temporary, short period of time. And tattoos as well. My first tattoo was when I was 22, I believe. And it is a ladybug on a flower with some tribal design behind it on my left shoulder on the back. That tattoo was just picked off the wall. It was something that I liked because I just wanted to get a tattoo and see kind of what it was like. My next tattoos were the gur and the other gur on my ankles. And then I got a tattoo on my lower back, which represents me and my ex. So that's one I'm going to get covered eventually. And then I started on my wrists. And then further in on my inner arms. And then now I have a sleeve that's almost done on one arm. And I'm going to be starting to work on my sleeve on my other arm. And I have a chest piece as well. So, yeah, I'm in love with my tattoos. I'm in love with the art that is on my body. But like I said, there's that spiritual component for me as well. So there's something about the act of getting tattooed or pierced, kind of that pain that you go through as a part of that process is a little bit in a meditative area as well for me. So I kind of get into that meditative area or meditative stance or whatever, what have you, when I'm getting tattooed or pierced. And then the artwork itself afterwards just really speaks to me on a level that is more than just aesthetics. So spirituality-wise, I am a druid through the Order of Bards, Ovates, and Druids out of the UK. I've been through their 3-year training. And so I'm certified as clergy and as the highest level, so I can start my own group, I could lead a group, I could teach. So those are things that I could do through that tradition. And so for me, there's a lot of pagan spirituality a lot of earth-centered, earth-based, um, and kind of getting back to older traditions and kind of I know that Druidry as it stands is not very based in older traditions. There's a lot of new stuff to it, but there's also a lot of stuff that we've pulled from historical druids that we do. Um, so there's that spiritual component in me as well. And then seeing that there have been many people throughout history who've done tattoos and piercings, body modification in general, just really has spoken to me. So that's one of the reasons I started stretching my ears. Was not because other people were doing it. It's because I saw that connection to spirituality amongst other people. And for me, that just really struck a chord in me. So most of my piercings have been self-motivated. I like the look, of course, but I sit and think about it for a long time before I get one done. It may seem sudden to people around me when it happens, but generally speaking, when I do get a piercing or a tattoo, I have thought about it extensively. So it is something that I do put a lot of thought and care into. Something that I do spiritually as well. So kind of like I guess the closest thing I can compare it to is like a prayer, connecting with nature, with deity, with the divine, so you can say, connecting with that before I get work done as a way to see if, for me, if it's something that I should do or something that makes sense for me. So, but I also believe that tattoos and piercings tell a story, especially tattoos. So that's why I'm not too upset about covering the tattoo I have on my lower back, and I covered one that was on my wrist as well, just because they tell a story. And that story is some of the exes I've had, and serves as a reminder to me to not do certain things, or to not look for certain things, or to hold my standards a little bit differently than they were previously. Lessons learned from each relationship, good and bad. So I don't want to see them every day, of course, and I don't want it to be one of those things where other people may think, like the tattoo on my wrist was a wedding tattoo. So it had our wedding date on it and 2 rings with initials in it. So that's not something that I really wanted other people to see and think that I was still married to this person, or something that I really wanted that reminder of every day, because that relationship did not end very well. So I covered it up, but it's still there. It's still a part of me. That tattoo is still always going to be in my skin. And so it has that kind of meaning, that history to it as well. So it tells that story. So yeah, I think that's really all I wanted to say. But I did want to just kind of come on here and talk about a little bit why tattoos and piercings mean what they do to me, and kind of why it's important to me that I am modified, and that it is visible. I do experience people staring sometimes, making comments kind of under their breath. I haven't had anyone say anything directly to me. I'm lucky in that aspect. Although I do have people comment on my septum all the time. Did that hurt? Is generally what they say first. Or with my ears, did it hurt? And I will respond back with the ears. It doesn't hurt if you do it right. But with the septum, it did definitely hurt every time I stretched it. Just because there is cartilage that it can push against when you're stretching it. So I think the last stretch I did for my septum, it took a month for it to stop hurting. So I'm not stretching it again. I think I'm happy with where it's at right now. I do tend to stretch piercings a little bit in addition to, but also in lieu of getting new piercings. So instead of getting a new piercing, I might stretch a piercing because it kind of satisfies that urge within me to modify my body a little bit further. So I have my tongue stretched, I have my septum stretched, I have my ears stretched. And yeah, so just all those kinds of things together and the spirituality behind it. Just really, there's just something about people will say your body is your temple. I like to decorate my temple. And I'm really intentional about decorating my temple. So it's decorated in a way that works for me. My next sleeve on my right arm that I'm getting started on is going to be focused on identities. So I'm going to have one for various identities to represent different things. The two that I currently have on that arm are a bear with rainbow background. Not that you can really see it because it's hard to see both sides of it. And then I have a semicolon tattoo right here to represent suicide awareness. So the rainbow bear, of course, LGBTQ, or my gay identity. And then the suicide survivor tattoo as well. So yeah, my next tattoo is going to say break the binary, and it's going to be my non-binary tattoo. I'm getting that actually Saturday, so it's coming soon. And then I have plans to get other tattoos for other identities as well. So I'm really excited about that sleeve because it's going to mean a whole lot to me. Not that my other sleeve doesn't, but it's going to be a lot more personal to me. So yeah, that's all I really wanted to say. I know I said that earlier. But yeah, so that's me, and that's the story of my tattoos and piercings. Bye.